Hello and welcome to Pirivars Fiskeprur. Today we're gonna tie a gurgler. The fly I'm gonna tie today is a little bit different from this one in the Weiss, but that was one I had finished, so I'm gonna show you that. But I'm gonna change some of the materials, some of the flash, and follow on and see how I tie it. Okay, I'll start with taking this out of the Weiss and putting a hook in. It's about size 4. Make sure it stays there. And attach my thread. I use some white 8/0 thread. And the Weiss I'm gonna use today is no Weiss. Wind back to the hook bend. And I find my mono that's gonna support the tail. Cut up a little piece of it and attach one end like this. Make it go around like this to make a loop. Just so it makes a loop that will support the tail of this fly, so it stands straight out from the back, not tangle any much. So just use some thread wraps to support it, and use some liquid fusion to make it even stronger, like that. This is allergy free for those who have allergies. Okay, now it's time to put on some. I'm gonna use some bucktail, but first some few strands and some gray sheep, goats maybe. I think it's goat, long goat here. Measure out how long I want the tail. It's about this. I snip off this waist. Do it in my bin so we don't make a mess on my table. So go back like this. Now I take my goat here in color gray. Measure out how long I want it. Just about that. It's going to be a fairly long one. So we have the tail ready. Snip it off. So, and some thread wrappings. Now it's time for me to use the top part. This is the foam body, foam sheet. I'm gonna cut up a piece of it like this and just make the ends pointy. So, and just attach it with some loose wraps at first, so you don't cut your foam. Go back, so you don't be a gap between the tail and the foam top part. You can see what I'm talking about, like this. And now you take your crystal chenille, snip up right amount like this. Maybe it's too little, but I can add some more later. And now you put your thread on a thread post so it's out of the way, and start wrapping this body material. So, and attach it so we don't unravel. So, make head room for the head, and now you can take your crystal chenille and just take it out to the sides and clamp on this foam, maybe 1 or 2 wrappings, and just tug on it and measure out. It looks like it's very good. And you take your side spot, use some yellow foam, cut up a short piece of it like this and make it go on the top. We're gonna cut this later. So, and you take now your all this foam, wind it back like this, so the front part is sticking up. I'm gonna show you a little trick later on. Take your whip finisher, make some nice whip finish on the front here. So, snip it off, put your thread aside like that. Now you're gonna use your scissors just to clean up this mess in the front. You can also use lighter if you have a strong heart. So now I'm gonna cut this in a little shorter and cut it in an angle on both sides. And you take this one and snip it off so it's not become so very big. And you can take your super glue. I use this Loctite super glue without a brush, and put a little dab on this, and so it sticks together. See, so it supports this to make the front part stick up a little bit, and do the same on the back. Like this. Small drops of super glue makes all the difference. So now it's time for you to you can also take, it was a little bit large this, and now I take my permanent marker. I want to make some markings on this tail. Just adjust the vise a little bit. See, take it out. So just mark only the top part. So make some nice barrings on this. See how nice it is. Very nice. This fly is gonna float and catch large sea trout and maybe some freshwater trout as well. Depends on what color you might use. You can, so I showed you earlier, you can use this one type as well. Change this crystal chenille with some feathers and some shiny dubbing underneath, and some other colors in the tail. But you can also have some crystal flash on the tail, but that's not so that's not so important because you have all this shiny stuff. Well, that was this Gurgler. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Of course you can take your lacquer and just seal off this thread wraps afterwards. I'm not gonna bother you with all that stuff, but that's up to you. This fly is very solid. It's gonna stay all night long, all year long maybe. If you want, you can take also some super glue on these thread wraps, just to make sure it's never unravel on you. Okay, that was all I had for you today. This was the Gurgler, and please subscribe to my channel and make comments on this video if you want. So that makes me very happy. So thank you all, and tight lines. Bye bye.